what's the best way to lead off? I think for me, and again, so we've been away from this, just again, a couple of months, but again, we have some new people in the audience today also. Perhaps, again, Alex, if you would like to take the lead on explaining, again, just the general concept of land banking to us, and then let's talk about what steps need to be taken and which issues need to be discussed. And
With a brief review of the land bank and maybe a general discussion of what has been previously discussed at the work session. The county land bank that is being proposed here for Stark County is actually a land reutilization corporation that is governed by sections 1724 and 5722 of the Ohio Revised Code. This will be a quasi-governmental entity. Its sole purposes are going to be for reclaiming land, rehabilitating and reutilizing these particular parcels that are not economically feasible. They're essentially non-productive land right now because either the delinquent taxes and combined with the special assessments, the demolition costs, the weed nuisance cutting costs greatly exceed the fair market value of the property that we presently have assigned. So they're just not being put back into productive use, and they sit on our delinquent list for decades at a time. What does a county land bank do? The county land bank's goals are going to facilitate the return of the vacant, abandoned, tax foreclosed properties back into productive economic use. The county land banks take ownership of properties and clear the title. They assemble the parcels for development and can also manage the properties until that redevelopment can begin. This process may take months and or sometimes years. How does the county land bank acquire property? The county land bank can acquire property in several ways. It's through an expedited tax foreclosure process, which allows a direct transfer of the tax foreclosed properties to county land banks. Lending institutions such as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac can transfer low value properties to the county land bank, sometimes providing funds for demolition. The Department of Housing and Urban Affairs can transfer low value properties to county land banks. Private individuals and probate estates no longer wanting the burden of owning the worthless properties can transfer the land to the county land bank. The establishment of the county land bank can be established in a two-part process. The Board of County Commissioners would first have to pass a resolution authorizing the formation of the land bank. In that resolution, it directs the county treasurer then to file articles of incorporation with the Ohio Secretary of State. After incorporation, the county commissioners would approve the corporation's operating documents. And of course, once that happens, then the county land bank board of directors would operate the county land bank. Who controls the county land bank? The county land banks are not part of county government. Instead, the county land bank is going to be an independent corporation governed by a board of directors, which is comprised of county, municipal, and township leaders. The board of directors of the county land bank, per the statute, must include at least 2 county commissioners, a county treasurer, or their equivalents under the county charter. We can appoint delegates or alternates. A representative of the largest municipality in the county, and a township representative. Depending on what the commissioner's decision is, up to 4 additional members could be included on the county land bank board if so desired. The funding for a county land bank, the county commissioners could elect to increase the county's delinquent tax and assessment collection fund to provide county land banks with operating income. The county treasurer could also make special advances of late payments of first half taxes or newly delinquent taxes with the associated penalties and interest allocated to that land bank. A county land bank can borrow money, receive money through federal grants or state grants, through land sales, obtain, again, funds through state monies that become available or federal monies to help operate the land bank. the benefits of the county land bank that were identified. Primarily, it helps us to stabilize the property tax base in these communities, and the county land bank would also assist in greatly reducing flipping of the low-value properties and the economic and social damage which is caused by the repeated transfers of the low-value properties. It is ideally suited to assist in the strategic redevelopment of the community, and again, through strategic selection of these properties, we can help to reduce and or eliminate blight.
How do you point the various directors to the board?
Well, the initial articles of incorporation have names on there. The designation, because the statute, as he said, requires at least 2 of the county commissioners and the treasurer. And then also the statute provides that a representative of the largest city and then of a township with 10,000 or more in population. And then there's additional ones that the commissioners and the treasurer who sit on the board can appoint. I'll get to in a minute because that's something else that you asked me to look into a while ago. So initially, in the Articles of Incorporation, you're going to decide which 2 commissioners you want named in there because Alex just has a blank.
I do have a completed form. So.
Oh, you do? You gave me a blank one. It just says name. I didn't think that was any of their names was named.
And we can go up to 9
Yeah.
on the board,
Yes.
3 to 9. I mean,
Five.
5 to 9. I'm sorry,
Correct.
5 to 9.
And if you go beyond the 5, and some information I have requests about that today, the statute provides that one of those, once you go beyond that, should be someone who is, how does that put, a member of the private sector who has a nonprofit experience or nonprofit experience in rehabilitation or real estate acquisitions. So if you, when you go beyond the 5, one member has to meet that criteria.
Alex, have you talked to anybody in any other areas, counties about this?
In other counties that have established land banks, yes, I have.
Right. How has it been working? How long have they, for example, Summit County or Cuyahoga or?
Summit's in its infancy stage,
Okay.
very similar to where we are. I believe the last time I had checked with them, they were at the process of passing their resolution or about to pass their resolution. Trumbull County has a land bank established. Spoke with Sam Lamancusa, who's the treasurer there, on several occasions, and Sam has been very helpful in pointing out some pitfalls and some areas which gave them some initial stumbling blocks. But once it got up and running, Sam benefited from some of the other counties that also went through those initial phases and basically not creating the proverbial wheel again, was able to cut through some of those problems and has passed along some information. So it's the rules and procedures. There are several counties that have adopted those rules and procedures, which is a later part of the process because the board has to first get established if the commissioners so desire to do that. And then the board of directors would adopt rules and procedures that the land bank is going to follow, the Land Realization Corporation is going to follow and adhere to. And once those codes or regulations get adopted, there would then be an agreement and a plan that would also have to be approved. But these again are the board of directors would get these in place and approve them, and that's how they're going to operate.
And is it for all of Stark County? I know that you made presentations, for example, to some of the cities, and to the city of Canton recently. I guess, Joel, I don't know, you could address this for me.
Yes, the corporation would be Stark County focused.
Yeah.
All areas would be included.
And were all the presentations, were those people receptive of the idea?
Yeah.
Were there any concerns?
Yes, most recently we had an opportunity to present before Canton City Council, and it was very positively received. And my understanding is that they're considering passing a resolution of support, something non-binding, but something that would indicate to the county that certainly think this is a good idea.
Do some municipalities also have their own land banks, by the way, throughout the state, or not?
I'm sorry?
Do any municipalities have their own land bank programs throughout the state?
Well,
or
not
different
like
nature?
what you're considering. Really, the state law really requires a quasi-governmental body that is really county-based. So while there are technically land bank, and perhaps Robin can answer this even better, there are technically what people call land banks within some of the municipalities. Most of them are not funded, and so it's really acquisition processes taking place.
The land bank is when property comes out of the land bank, it is free and clear of any liens, so it does cleanse the title on that property. So it is being sold very inexpensively to an adjoining neighbor, to a church, to a school, whatever, then it is coming free and clear of any taxes or other liens. In addition, the land bank has the ability to purchase properties. If you're looking at an area and there's one or two parcels that you're not able to get in because of delinquent taxes, the land bank can purchase those properties in order to create a large piece of property that can be consolidated. As far as the issue with municipalities, if a municipality has a land bank, they really have first choice of taking the property as it's going through foreclosure, or if it goes into the county land bank, they can request it from them. In some cases, for example, in Cuyahoga County, the city land bank will ask the county land bank to take the property, do the demolition, and hang on to it until the city has a need for it. But so usually the county land bank and any city land banks would work closely together, and the county land bank and any cities that don't have a land bank would work together through a memo of understanding as far as how they would handle properties, what they would like them to take, what they would like them not to take, and standards for demolition and things like that. So it is a close working relationship with
Mr. Martucci, the law director of Canton. Want to update us on where Canton is on this whole issue and your positions on that thing?
Thank you, Commissioner and Commissioners. We in Canton have what we call a land reutilization program, and certain lots, by virtue of being inappropriately sized or abandoned or tax delinquent, go into a pot, and we often end up taking care of them. We often end up cutting the grass. We have over 4,000 lots in the city of Canton that we now cut grass for, and we have to try to chase down owners, and as you pointed out in that form that you passed out, sir, that it's difficult sometimes to get a hold of someone to be accountable for the funds involved. So we would very much be interested in and appreciate something on a larger scale through which new liberties would arise to be able to transfer these lands or get them tax-free. I wish I could be more articulate about it. I don't understand our current program as well as some others in the city do. I do know we would like to dovetail ours into yours if you were to develop kind of the parent corporation over us. So we're very much interested. As we all know, would do wonders to help eliminate slum and blight and make our communities more valuable and safer and more attractive. So a concept, it's a great concept. Robin did come with Joel to the city of Canton and present it to city council recently in a slideshow PowerPoint presentation, and the major points were intriguing. Our council is interested, our administration is interested, but again, I would like to learn as much as I could. Thanks for
We've debated taxes, dogs, and ditches in this room. And never have we ever had so many people, probably combined. You are the prize-winning audience. But what excites me most of all is that they're from different realms of our county. And that's what makes our county great and what makes it grow. And as I've said to Alex before, this whole concept to me is what I call my circle of life. Because what we start to do does impact not only our economic development, but our housing, our schools, our quality of life, and it puts viable properties back on the tax rolls, which in effect helps us all. So, unless somebody can rattle my brain and tell me this really is not a good idea, I'm excited about it because it is far-reaching to every corner of our great county.
And Debbie, I guess we would conclude with a request to you, and that is why don't you put these documents that we need for step one together in final form. And get with Alex, get with Mike on this thing, and get them to us, and we'll get them on the agenda in the very near future upon their receipt.
Okay.
Great. In your case, it is now 11:12 a.m. and this.
I would like that, thank you.
And that work session is adjourned.